Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let me see. Fancy, fancy. Thank you so much for being here first. And okay, let's get started. There we go. They are fighting for survival. And if they're not careful, they are going to have a new, I wouldn't even know what to call that kind of a consort. Well, they're going to have a different kind of consort. Um, well, you see, I'm just trying to say that anyway, a don't ask, don't tell consort. uh, um, but a different kind of consort. I don't even know if that's possible, but then again, you have Charles and Camilla, two adulterers. One of them is actually the supreme governor of the Church of England, and that wasn't supposed to happen either. So anything's possible. If you believe, anything's possible. So all I can say is hang in there, consort of a different kind, and all will be revealed. Everything will go your way in time. Um, uh, I wonder if that would be the first consort that wore glasses. I think so. I can't think of any other consorts that wore glasses. Oh well. So, as I was saying, um, happy Sunday morning, Saturday evening for some, Sunday morning for others. Um, let's get on with it. Now, I got this from I went to clean out the comments, right? And I thought this was rather strange because it appears as though someone was not listening with both of their ears. They were listening with their gut, and their gut was telling them something that I never said. They say, I can understand your disdain for Gayle King and her interview style, etc., but don't defend the bad behavior of Black men just because they're Black. And be mindful that there are survivors of assault who listen to you and may be triggered, especially when you hold up R. Kelly, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jackson, all who engaged in questionable behavior. Okay. And then this is what was weird. So there's another one, apparently from a different person, that seems virtually identical, but don't defend the bad behavior of Black men just because they're Black. And be mindful that there are survivors of assault who listen to you and may be triggered, especially when you hold up R. Kelly, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jackson, all who engage in questionable behavior. Please don't defend R. Kelly in order to knock Gayle King. Was this person even paying attention? Was this person paying attention? They could not have. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Stupid. And I'm protecting the identity of that person. Um, I don't recall saying R. Kelly. I don't recall mentioning Michael Jackson. I do recall Kobe Bryant, though. I have a right to question Gayle King's abusive interview of a woman who was mourning the death of her friend. Kobe Bryant was never convicted. And there are lots of questions about that thing that happened, but this is not a court of law, so I'm not going to defend anybody. I can only say that the case was settled, okay? But that wasn't my gripe. I don't care anything about the three people that she mentioned. That is not my gripe. My gripe was Gayle King, someone who I respect a lot. And for a while, I had lost respect for her because of the way she badgered that young woman. I thought that was one of the worst things I've ever seen on television, bar none. That was one of the worst things. And anyone who ever had been in a situation like that young woman was in, where someone you look up to, like a Gayle King, someone you revere as like an auntie or whatever, right? It was unforgivable what Gayle King did. I will never forgive her for the way she went after that girl. It was totally unnecessary to get this girl on record, that is, on behalf of Kobe Bryant, who Gayle King was friends with, who Gayle King interacted with frequently as they ran in certain circles and constantly ran into each other. If Gayle King felt that, um, I guess, outraged by that, if she needed him on the record, she could have done that while he was alive. So this person or persons, it looks like they have a person parroting their comment. If you're going to say something like that, get it right. I did not mention Michael Jackson or R. Kelly, and I'm not upholding any of them. My gripe was with Gayle King and the way she went after that girl. If that would have been your sister or your daughter or your mother that had been humiliated and left in tears because of Gayle King's curiosity and the need to get her on the record for something that has nothing to do with this young woman. And how about Kobe's other children that were in mourning? How about his wife, his widow that were in mourning? So, anyway, this person needs to get a new account so that they will be able to comment on Royal Sussex again. I hope you understand that because apparently you don't understand a lot. You listen, but you don't hear anything. Thank you so, brother. I was just like, I watch My View, My Opinion. And if any of you all have watched My View, My Opinion, then time and time again, she tries to remind people, listen before you comment. Listen before you comment. Hear the entire thing before you comment. Go and do your research. Go and watch the video of Gayle King badgering this young woman. The only reason why I tolerate Gayle King, not that it keeps Gayle King up at night, whether or not I think she's good or bad, but the only reason why I tolerate her is because of her relationship with our faves. Other than that, after that incident, I have absolutely no use for her. Another person who has disappointed me over the years is Miss Oprah. But yet, I say to myself, Oprah has done way more good than she has done bad. So she's made some mistakes. And I think in her own way, she has tried to atone for it. Others may disagree, but I think she made some motions to atone for some of her mistakes. And we're going to move on. We're going to move on. I'm going to move on. But next time, listen before you start commenting because you were not listening. Clearly, you were not listening. I understand your disdain for Gayle King and her interview style. No, you don't, because if you were listening, you would understand exactly why. But don't defend the bad behavior of Black men just because they're Black. You don't know me. You don't know me. And be mindful that there are survivors of SA who listen to you and may be triggered, especially when you hold up R. Kelly, who was not mentioned, Kobe Bryant. My comments were not directed toward him in any way whatsoever. My beef was with Gayle King and Michael Jackson, again, who was not even mentioned. But yet you bring your laundry list of gripes to accuse me of something I did not say. All should it be all of whom? Is my grammar correct? Shouldn't it be all of whom engage in questionable behavior? I don't know. But anyway, I'm being shady. But young lady, old lady, somewhere in the middle lady, you need to learn to listen. Listen with your ears and not with your guts. And stop acting like you know somebody or you know what's in their heart because of whatever experiences life has taught you. Okay? And get a new account if you ever want to comment again. Okay, so Harry and Meghan donate to charities amid growing U.S. hunger crisis. The U.S. food aid program has faced weeks of uncertainty. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have made emergency donations to support communities affected by the growing hunger crisis in the United States. The U.S. food aid program has faced weeks of uncertainty as the White House reduced its funding during what is now the longest government shutdown in American history. Its Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, assists about 1 in 8 American families. 42 million people. Harry and Meghan listed 6 partners they are making emergency donations to through their Archwell Foundation, including one that transfers cash to families hit hardest by the federal SNAP cuts. The Archwell Foundation said, in a moment when families across the United States are struggling to put food on the table, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, have been supporting local communities affected by growing hunger crisis and assisting local partners providing meals and relief to those most in need. Well, I usually like to follow that with applause, but out of respect for people that are truly suffering, I'm just going to make it a virtual applause. Um, so, oh, and this one is actually from the Archwell website. So it kind of repeats that article. Across the country, food banks and community organizations are working tirelessly to fill the gap and stepping up to meet the needs. At the Archwell Foundation, we believe that food is more than sustenance, it is dignity, stability, and care for one another. To support those most affected, we are making emergency donations to local partners who are providing immediate relief, including, there you go, food banks of Santa Barbara County, delivering meals and essential groceries to families across the Central Coast. Our Big Kitchen LA, preparing and distributing freshly cooked meals to those facing food insecurity. Project Angel Food, delivering grocery gift cards to clients who have been affected by recent federal cuts to SNAP. Food Forward, recovering fresh produce from local farms and wholesalers to feed communities in need. Alma Backyard Farm, expanding their pay what you can farm stands and growing communities led across, I'm sorry, access that is to fresh food. Lyft, providing direct cash assistance to families most impacted by the freeze and SNAP benefits, helping cover immediate needs like food, rent, and childcare while restoring a sense of stability and hope. This is a monumental task. It really is. So, how can you help? Okay, I see that. How you can help. Moments like this remind us that caring for one another is both a collective act and a personal choice, whether through time, resources, or simple gestures of compassion. Each of us can help ensure that no one that is faces hunger alone. Here are a few ways to support your community and be part of the response. Share what you can. Donate canned goods, fresh produce, or pantry staples to your local food pantry or community fridge. Even small contributions can make a difference for a family this week. Gather others to help. Organize a volunteer day through your school, workplace, or faith community to collect groceries, assemble meal kits, or deliver food to neighbors. Show up for seniors. Visit your local senior center for help, that is, to help distribute meals or simply share company with older adults who may be feeling the impact of food insecurity most deeply. Support local and national organizations working every day to keep families fed, including, there it is. That's small, isn't it? Let me see what I can do with that. Man, this is serious, isn't it? This is serious. All of a sudden, this is very real, isn't it? Um, okay. Lyft. That is, it says Lyft, offering emergency cash relief to families most affected by the freeze and SNAP benefits and other economic hardships. Their fund helps cover essentials like food, rent, and childcare for those hit hardest. Propel, through its survivors, um, I'm sorry, through its providers app, Propel is sending direct cash transfers to SNAP families waiting for delayed benefits, helping parents keep food on the table. And then there's Farm to People. Support pop up produce distributions like connect small farmers with food insecure households. Food Forward. Fund ongoing produce recovery and distribution across Los Angeles. Share Our Strength. No Kid Hungry. That's the name of it. Join a national campaign ensuring children continue to have access to meals. If you or someone you know is struggling to access food, these national resources can help connect you to nearby support. And the last three are Feeding America. You can find local food banks at feedingamerica.org. Find your local food bank. Meals on Wheels America. Visit mealsonwheelsamerica.org. Find meals for programs serving older adults. Lastly, Hunger Free America. Call 1-866-3-HUNGRY or 1-866-348-6479 to be connected to food assistance program in your community. Gosh, this is serious, isn't it? Moments like this remind us of the power and resilience of communities and the responsibilities we all share to care for one another. The Archwell Foundation will continue to support organizations that meet essential human needs with compassion, especially in times of fragility and uncertainty. We are inspired by our community, like you, and join you as we come together to show up, do good. Show up, do good. Yeah, man, oh man, this is. It was one thing January, what was it, the 19th? And then what was Inauguration Day, January the 20th? Oh man. Anyway, oh, I see Legs is here. Hey, Legs. Well, we got at least one moderator, right? One moderator. It's time for the 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 moderator. Okay, very good. Check this out. This is Godmothers. As you can see, well, you may not be able to see that, but that sign says, that sign says, Godmothers and as ever. I think it's Godmothers and as ever. So 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They are open 9 to 5. Again, if you are in that area and you are desperate to see some of those products that are sold by as ever, they have them available. You can physically examine them, look at them, and hopefully even get a chance to sniff those candles. I want to remind you all that those candles have a keepsake container, I guess you can call it a vase, a vase, beautiful with the logo of As Ever with the two birds and the palm tree. Or is that a palmetto tree? Palmetto. Anyway, um, beautiful, very artsy. And you won't believe this, but I went and I picked up all of my As Ever stuff and have not opened up Naya box, not Naya. I have not opened a single box. I'm a bit overwhelmed by it. I guess I'm too excited, but I I want to try to figure out which is the candle and start with that first. So, if there is anyone who is going through food insecurity right now, I do hope those resources will be helpful. If someone is feeling motivated to do something, I again hope those resources are helpful. I trust the Archwell people to find the right places to reach out to. I'm sure there's some places in your community that you could reach out to. Just make sure that it's not um, the wrong kind of place, because there are going to be people trying to take advantage of the situation, such as it is. Um, so, yeah, just be aware of where you're lending your assistance. And I believe we will get through this. We will get through this. Um, but right now, this is the longest government shutdown in the history of these United States. Um, mm, mm, mm. I will leave it there. Now, on to another topic. A royal turnout. A royal turnout. Well, there's Sophie. I think Edward was there. Um, oh, 420. There's 420 people here. Meet me after class. Um, oh, we got us another moderator. Hazel Jones is here. Hey, Hazel Jones. Um, the royal turnout, a royal turnout. So there's Sophie, right? And there's Kate. Looks like she's going to the big wig again. Yeah, I think whenever she feels insecure, she starts grabbing hair extensions. And of course, there is young George and a man who has more medals than he's able to stand with comfortably, King Charles III. Uh, he's also there. And I can tell you, I've seen Camilla. But who's missing? Prince William's absence from royal family lineup at Festival of Remembrance. Why, pray tell, has William decided to avoid this occasion? There's no way that any senior royal should miss this event. None of them. Unless your name is Andrew, or unless you relocated to North America, unless you went to Brazil hoping to be the cat's meow, the center of attention, only to find out that your father is pinning medals, your brother is doing a tour of Canada, and your sister in law has a cameo appearance coming up in a romantic comedy. Yeah. Otherwise, everybody ought to be paying attention to you, I guess. Was there any other distractions that took everyone's attention away from William? Because it seems like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. But if I were William, I would be kind of glad that somebody interrupted my show because the level of, I would say, hostility that he is receiving being called a hypocrite, a man with several homes, a fleet of automobiles, helicopters, the use of a private train, a $1 billion duchy that fell in his lap. And I imagine he does not have to pay any type of inheritance attack, listen to me, any inheritance tax for that Duchy of Cornwall. Everything goes his way. You know, there are people that live in homes, and pardon me for saying this, but I want to make sure this is understood. There are people that are living in homes that have worse bad memories than Adelaide Cottage. Okay? A home that, use your imagination, other things has happened in that home that may have the family thinking, gosh, I don't want to live here anymore. But they have no place to go. They were not an accident of birth. They are not the heir to the throne. So most people, well, you have to call in a special cleanup crew and go on living there, or you have to rebuild what was burned down and keep living there. There's a lot of reasons why people might want to move, but a what is it, precancerous cells? You have flipped out over precancerous cells? You're shocked that your father, of course, unfortunately, is suffering from whatever he's suffering from. Seems kind of like a fact of life for a lot of people, but you flip out and go and get what, your fourth forever home. That's not most people's story. AM, thank you so much for the PayPal. Thank you very much for the PayPal. So, yeah, I'm just saying, most people do not have the privilege of a Prince William. And he took his bulbous head down to Brazil to preach to real people about the dangers of what's happening to the environment, to the planet. Now, I believe global warming is real. Fine. However, what is that doing for the people in Britain? I listened to Tom Sykes build a case of support for William and his vanity project, Earthshot. But guess what? This is happening right now in the United States, the wealthiest country in the history of the world. Do you want people to take time away from the longest government shutdown? And I won't even begin to talk about the people whose positions were made redundant because of a change of regime. There are people suffering in Gaza. There are people suffering in, where is it? Oh my goodness, I cannot think. Oh, Congo. There, people suffering in Congo. Child labor in Congo. There's all kind of things going on around this world, and you want everyone to stop and listen to you preach about the environment while you are living a life second to none. This man has had count them, 7 vacations in 2025 alone. And not just vacations. He's been to the Isle of Mystique. He's gone skiing in the Alps twice that we know of. He spent time on that huge, what was it, $500 million yacht. And he has the caucasity to go down to Brazil, where they laid waste to a huge portion of the rainforest for this event that could have been achieved with a Zoom call. Talk about short sighted. Oh, that's so true. Hazel Jones says Charles did volunteer to pay taxes. We just don't know how much he offered to pay. Um, and William, he will not discuss taxes at all. William is not having a more open um, Prince of Wales. He has really shut everything down. He does not want people to ask questions, and he's not volunteering much information. Well, this big moment that, oh, where was I at here? Uh, uh, uh. Yeah, so this big moment that oh, Sudan. Thank you so much. Sudan. That is the other hot spot, Sudan. Thank you so much. I could not think of that for anything. Yeah, so there is more pressing things going on without people listening to William yammer on about stuff that is not putting food on the table and is doing nothing to solve the housing crisis. And that is something that affects. Listen to me. That is something that affects millions of people across the industrialized world. Is a shortage of affordable, decent housing. And that's his other vanity project. He has nothing to do with it or contribute to help mitigate anybody's suffering. Instead, he wants to bring awareness. Well, anybody who's sleeping on someone's sofa, I'm pretty sure they're aware that there's a crisis. Oh my goodness, he scares me sometimes. You know that? This man scares me. I keep looking at the that movie poster for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I promise you, he would fit right into that cast. Like, I mean, just he could literally play himself, and he would fit in the cast of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest perfectly. Of course, not to make fun of anyone suffering from mental illness, but yeah, yeah. You know, I'm getting that feeling, Maurice Brown. I am getting that feeling that they are in a bad situation. This is a public snubbing of his father. He has deliberately snubbed his father. Now, uh, the British tabloid media is playing along. They're doing their part by pretending that William hasn't made it back in time. William wasn't trying to come back in time. William is unhappy because of his father, because of his brother, and because of his sister in law, and the ease in which they were all able to upstage him. King in the Making. Now, that is an old cover, but I brought that out because, well, it seems to be consistent with where we are today, where once again they are pushing a child up front and center as the young man who is going to rescue the monarchy. No pressure, is it? They are really putting all their hopes in him right now. which is the reason why he came out tonight, was because they want to distract. They want to distract the fact that William is not there. William is somewhere incandescent with rage. And I mean, he is incandescent with rage. He is about as hot as a skillet sizzling with bacon. And so George has made the front pages here and there. Of course, they have to put his mom on there, but yeah, this is big news that George has stepped up. I don't know how George feels about it. I'm not even going to speculate because he is a child and I wish him the best. But this is very serious because William is supposed to be there. He is the heir to the throne. And yet he's made a choice to skip this occasion, much like Catherine made a choice to skip the royal ascot, among other things. So I tell you, there is something foul going on in the House of Windsor, and it has nothing to do with the Sussexes. This is the continued war between Clarence House and Kensington Palace. And then there's this spot of bother. Camilla, from what I am told, Camilla has hurt Kate's feelings, and people are actually angry with Camilla. All of the work that they have done, and by the way, this is probably going to be short lived. I mean, it's bad enough Camilla humiliated Kate during the state visit with the Orange Menace. But now you have Camilla making fun of Kate's Herbal Essence commercial, her Fresh as a Summer Eves commercial. And what I mean by that is this. You see this? I've never heard of Timotei shampoo or hair care products. I never heard of it before. But apparently, Camilla did not reference Herbal Essence. She referenced Timotei. She said that Kate's silly video where she's walking through the meadows and the tall grass beneath trees and valleys and brooks, she compared that to the Timotei hair care. Now, I went and found one of the commercials, and yes, there was a dark-haired woman swinging her hair to the left and swinging her hair to the right, walking with a sense of purpose through these lush spaces that are probably not on her commute to work. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm pretty sure that the area that she's in right now, which looks like the Serengeti or wherever it is, I don't believe that that is the route that she takes to get to church or to her parents' house or wherever she's on her way to. However, they have flown a crew of people into this area to film this young woman walking and throwing her hair left and right, left and right. And it just reminds everybody of this. This was the stupidest thing. And not only did they do it once, they've done it twice. You had Kate awkwardly leaning up against a tree, wearing a blazer, right? And talking about how she wants to get in touch with nature. Again, very out of touch. There's a lot of people in the UK that are suffering 100 times worse than the Cambridges who do not have, or the Waleses, who do not have the opportunity nor the time to go and hike through nature. They just don't. But this is the one size fit all solution from a very entitled Kate Middleton. Let me see. Tara Wilson, thank you so much for the super chat. And yes, Cal Miller. That is a Cal Miller. um, this one right here, I cannot get over that look she has on her face. It's as though she's trying not to laugh or just some really bad acting. But this is Kate's idea of how you celebrate the end of your treatment. I would say remission, but I don't believe that she was, you know, exactly in danger at the time that they started whatever it is they said was the treatment. And listen, you can correct me if you want to. I've heard several versions from the palace, from Kate, and everyone else in between of exactly what protocols were used to treat whatever it is she has or never had. Okay. So I don't know what it is. And they have been very vague and deliberately ambiguous about the language that they use. So I don't know. Whatever it was, I think this commercial is over the top. And it is a commercial. They hired a cinematographer, a producer, a whole crew of people to go out into a rural area to film this so that they can, I guess, shove it in the faces of people who cannot afford to do this, who don't have the time to do this. This backfired in the most epic way. Even some of their most ardent supporters were saying, enough of this, enough of this. And if it's not this, it's a slow motion video of the family moving about, doing their daily things with some kind of voiceover. And then they pin that to social media. And that is supposed to make up for the ribbons that have not been cut, the plaques that have not been unveiled, and the face to face encounters with the people that they don't seem interested in meeting. Have I noticed? Have I noticed? Have I noticed? Mm. Let me put it to you like this. I'm constantly reminded of those days I used to go fishing with my father. You catch a fish, and you got that hook pulling up on one side of the mouth. Yeah, I've noticed. It gives me flashbacks of going out to Fox Lake. uh, so yes, I may have noticed. Oh, that's the one with the blazer under the tree. I don't get how this is supposed to be helpful. Who is your audience? Who is your target audience? I do believe that this is for an audience of one. These are really made for Prince Harry. It's that blind competitive nature of William to convince his brother that anything you can do, I can do better. Otherwise, I see no point for it. None. All of these years, and Kate Middleton is still not a full time royal. And when the stories of morning sickness were no longer applicable, then something else that I dare not speak of happens. And now she has another excuse to not work. This is creepy and delusional and self serving. It's all of those things and pointless. Let me just say that too. It serves no real purpose. And then, of course, there's the magazine covers. Kate's spiritual rebirth. Kate's preparing to be queen. Uh, Kate's looking toward the future. It is just so funny. Some of the magazine covers. One of my favorite articles is the one that said William and Kate are being watched closely. I think that was after Queen Elizabeth died. They're being watched closely. For what? What are you watching them for? They do what they want to do anyway. What difference does it make whether you watch or you don't watch? If there's something William doesn't want to do, he's not going to do it. And likewise, if there's something Kate doesn't want to do, she ain't going to do it. So what are you watching them closely for? So you can say, I saw them not do that. uh, what are you watching them for? Because they are going to do exactly what they want to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Oh my God, that was such a scream when I saw that article. Will and Kate are being watched closely. And and what? And what? What's gonna happen now that everybody's watching them closely? What's up? Now what's gonna happen? Nothing. Nothing. They are not doing anything more or less than what they choose to do. That's it. So you can watch close or not watch at all. They're funny. Let me see if I can find that article. Will and Kate are being watched closely. No, maybe that's not the title. Well, I see one. Kate and William being watched very carefully. No, that's not it. Prince William, Kate watch closely as Harry stays silent after meeting King Charles. Nope, that's a more recent one, but nope, that's not the one. Anyway, I know I have it somewhere in my archive, but I cannot bother with it right now. Let's see. Are you going through what we have been since fuel support was cut and the problems with being outside the EU, increased prices, fares, and a stagnant economy? We feel your pain. The world is in flux. Yasmin Page, yes. We have a version of that that is happening to us right now. Um, I think part of it too is the tax credit that they gave to the 1%, um, while raising taxes for the rest of us. They cut taxes for the haves and the have mores. And also, during the, I guess, the pandemic, post pandemic, when, with the inflation and raising prices and stuff like that, it's like when they have an oil shortage or oil price increase across the board, everybody raises prices. They'll raise them, but they'll never lower them again, even when there's plenty oil in supply. So usually price increases are permanent. They just look for an excuse to do it. So, but yeah, our economy is getting hit really hard. We were supposed to enjoy lower prices with a new administration or return administration, and that just has not happened. The consumers are really uh, catching hell right now. Let's see. Oh yeah, and there was this Kate on vacation. Kate, of course, is taking it day by day. Kate is not rushing back to work. Kate is listening to her body, or it wasn't anything wrong with Kate in the first place. I don't know which of those are true. Alls I know is when they said Kate is trying to manage, what I saw Kate doing was managing to walk up a hill or get carried up a hill and come flying down on a pair of skis. That's what I saw. Uh, Otherwise, Kate's doing the best she can. One vacation, one vacation at a time. She's doing the best she can, darn it. So don't you all dare accuse her of not having a problem. Anybody can look at her, can tell she's got problems. Anybody could look at her. I mean, look at her face. You can tell she got problems. She's got issues, concerns. All kind of stuff is going on with her. Got that wonky looking eye and everything. She got problems, y'all. So lay off of her. Kate's poignant return. Well, I'm going to poignantly point out that Hello Magazine decided to take license with her image, and Getty did not. I repeat, Hello Magazine took license, and Getty did not. If you know, you know. Will the real Kate Middleton please stand up? Okay. Will the real Kate Middleton please throw your hair extensions? No? Will the real Kate Middleton please laugh at nothing? Will the real Kate Middleton do jazz hands? Do something so we know what you're feeling or thinking. Anyway, let me leave this lady alone. Exclusive Williams Fury as Charles crashes his big week with a little help from David Beckham. It was meant to be William's week. Then Charles pinned a medal on Beckham and lit up the cameras back home. Now, this is according to Tom Sykes, who talks out of both sides of his mouth, which is necessary because he's got that one big tooth in the front looking like Brer Rabbit. Anyway, Snaggletooth Tom said, Snaggletooth Tom says that William is in a fury because of Charles and David Beckham. William is throwing a tantrum, yes, another one, because the king's been doing his job instead of hiding away and avoid overshadowing him. To avoid overshadowing him. Toddler Willie's delusions of grandeur are now so out of control that he expects his PR stunts to take priority over matters of state. I repeat, he expects his PR stunts to take precedence over matters of state. Who the hell does he think he is? His father has a job to do, and his father is doing his job, which is more than you could say about William, who is not doing his job. William running off from this vanity project where he invokes his father's name in the speech that he read is not really doing his job. He wants the glory and the adulation, but he doesn't want to do the work. And he expects everyone to give him praise and acknowledgement for things he don't really do. He doesn't inspire much. So Zandy Sussex was nice enough to share said article. And as some of the squatties said, and I am inclined to believe, there seems to be a what? What is this? Uh-oh. Is this a new photo of the Sussexes? Oh, you guys, did you know about this? Did you know about this? Shut the front door. We're going to have to pick up on that later. Shut the front door. Let me show you this picture. Good Lord. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Huh? What? Did you all know about this? Are you all holding out on me? This is Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, arrive at Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party. I repeat, Harry and Meghan at Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party. Wow. Just wow. Meghan is looking fine. She is looking fine. Now, you know what that means. If anyone has been a part of Royal Sussex for some time, you know that we start combing the interweb looking for photos. And so far, this is the only one that I've seen. Oh, now that is going to be frustrating. Because at this hour, okay, this came out 2 hours ago, which means that this came out around midnight uh, LA time. And so far, I got just the one photo. I'm looking at different accounts. This person posted this photo almost 45 minutes ago. The other person almost 2 hours ago. Um, I want to help you all see the details of Meghan's dress. So, as much as I hate to do this, I'm going to have to crop Harry so that I can zoom in on Meghan. I do apologize, but this is necessary. These are red alert conditions. So, sorry, Harry, I'm going to crop you. Um, okay. It looks like she's wearing, well, okay, I'll show you. Again, my apologies to the Duke of Sussex, but we're trying to see. Va-boom. There you go. Okay. Okay. My. Well. Now, whoever snapped this photo, Harry is not having it. Harry is not having it. You can tell by the look on his face. He's not having it. Now, I'm about to get embarrassed. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I think someone sent this to my inbox and I just didn't see it. But no, that's not true. Um, oh. Okay. Okay. All right. I see some more pics, you guys. I see some more pics. Okay. Listen, y'all grown. I don't want to tell y'all what to do. Um, but these pictures are going across social media. And while I would rather you all avoid giving any engagement to certain people, we all adults, and I'm going to share what I can myself. So if you don't want to do that, you can just wait for me to avoid the engagement for the evildoers. Oh Lord, there's Oprah and Gail. Oh, Oprah's wearing pants. She's wearing leather. Um, so I do have a few more photos of Meghan, but there's a lot of people at this Kris Jenner party, and I suppose it's going to be all over the news tomorrow. So you can also, oh Lord, guess who else is there? Guess who else is there? Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart. Lord have mercy. I don't really care to have her in the same room as the Duchess of Sussex, seeing how vicious she was to our fave. Tyler Perry is there. Okay. I'm going to share the photos that I have. I was trying to find some more of the Sussexes, but what I have so far, let me see here. I'll share that with you. Give me just a second. Okay. Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party. I did not know that Kris Jenner was a Scorpio. I know that her daughter, is it Kylie? We both are birthday twins. We're both November 3rd. Okay, 2 picks coming your way. Here's one. And here's the other. I am loving October, November. I'm loving it. Harry looks good, you guys. I don't know what tuxedo he's got on, but did you notice that he's got on a velvet tuxedo jacket? And probably with a velvet stripe. Okay, I hate to do this because you're going to know where it comes from. But like I said, we're all grown and I'm not going to tell y'all what to do. But here goes. Because you can see the photos really well, I just have to share this. My. Our Duchess is looking flawless. You know, she may not have the flashiest gowns, but she always seem to be head and shoulders above everybody else in the room. Ah, yes, the prince loves his wife. Our Prince Harry loves his wife. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go back to our regularly scheduled programming. If I can, oh, Bunny Rose, hello, thank you for being here. If I can find any more photos, I will share them. But for now, we have this, 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 that, and that, which is the same as this and that. Walk, Meghan, walk. Woo! Let me see if I can find any more photos. Here comes the sun. Do 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 do. Here comes the sun. You know, one of my favorite things is when we're all together like this and new photos come out. It's like one of my favorite things is we're all together and without any warning, all of a sudden, here comes the Sussexes. Oh my goodness. I don't, oh my Lord, what is wrong with her face? Oh, as a contrast, they have images of whatever show that is that the rest of the royals went to. And because I am ill tempered and ill mannered, and sometimes I can be downright rude and unpleasant, I have to share this image with you. I have to, you know, for the sake of shadiness. Yeah, for the sake of shadiness, I have to share this with you. No, really, I do. I mean, I don't have to, but I just kind of want to because uh yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay. Let me grab this. Again, I don't have to do this, but I choose to do it. Well, there is Her Royal Highness Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Look like she's having an amazing night, right? Right. Again, I didn't have to do this, but I saw it. I'm shady and I'm sharing it. Again, I saw it. I am shady AF and I'm sharing it. Get used to it. And remember, the camera never lies. Let me see. Just found the source of the. Why are they the only ones with these? Oh, yes. Yes. That's why I said, Ms. Z, I don't want to encourage people to go to the dark side to see photos, but we all grown. And if you want to see them, I do not want to discourage you because I know I have gone to some dark spaces or sources, if you will, looking for our faves because, I mean, let's face it, they usually have the photos first. So I tell you what, let's just not tell anybody where we got them from, okay? Yeah, so I am swearing 588 people to complete secrecy. I want you all to virtually sign this NDA. You will not tell anybody where we got these photos from. Uh, okay, you didn't click through it. Okay. Then it's like it never happened. Sandra. Hey, Sandra. Yes, they do stalk our faves. They are stalkers. Okay, now I'm going to go back to one of my favorite sources. This is a squatty, not a tabloid, but let me see what they got. And see, I got to tell you guys, some of the squatties are able to locate photos for us. They go into Instagram accounts, people that are so obscure and difficult to find. Um, they will go into those accounts and find stuff that we otherwise would never be able to find, especially like when Harry went to Ukraine. And once I started looking, did I find even more stuff? So, yeah. Huh. You know what, guys? Do hang around because I do have some of those puzzles that we've been doing lately. I do have some of those puzzles or problems to solve. So let me go ahead and finish this Prince William meltdown thing, and then we'll eventually get to that. Okay. So anyway, gonna take a little quick peek and see what I can find, and then we'll finish the Willie leaks. Wow, what a nice surprise! What a nice surprise this is. And it just really messes with them. Meghan, um, when she smiles like that, when she is enjoying her life, enjoying her family, her community, it just really, really bothers them. Hey, Lydia Washington. How you doing? Hello. How you doing? Lydia, I believe I have all of my as ever. Do you know I have not opened NA box? Not NA. I have not opened NA box. I'm too overwhelmed. And it's not because I spent too much money and I want to send some of it back. That is a, that is not the reason why I haven't opened it yet. Is it? No, that's not the reason. And since there's such an ample supply, I certainly wouldn't put it on eBay, even if there was a shortage of any of those things. I would never put that on eBay. Um, uh, but everything I purchased is staying here, and I'm done with my Christmas shopping for this year, and a couple of birthdays coming up. So what could I say? Our prince and princess need their college fund. So I am glad to do what I can. Wasn't that a movie? No deposits, no return. Let me see. No deposit, no return movie. Yes, that was a movie with Don Knotts. It was called No Deposit, No Return. Wonder what the hell that was about. Okay. No deposits, no returns. So Meghan matching with the navy blue and black. I thought that was blue. I wasn't sure, but I think the top is navy blue. I thought maybe that was the way the photograph, the flash. I thought maybe the flash made it look kind of navy. Oh, really? Okay, let me go over there. Let me go over there, see if I can find something that nobody else has. If you really want to do some detective work, um, look at some of the celebrities that are there tonight, and you just might be able to find some stuff that nobody else even knows about. That is possible. Okay, let me see. Chris Jenner. See what I can find. Yeah, I'll start with Chris Jenner. Happy birthday. We love you very much. Okay. Wow, Glenn Close is there. I love Glenn Close. Okay, yeah, I'm not finding anything with her account. All right. I'm going to continue with the stuff I had prepared already. Okay, one more look. Okay, I'm going to just look one more time. This is too exciting. I mean, I feel like my head is just going to pop off my shoulders with excitement. The Derangers are like having a fit right now. Y'all know that. You got Kate Middleton looking like a pilgrim. Did y'all see that? let me go back to Kate Middleton. She looks like she's at a pilgrim festival. You see that? It looks like she's at a pilgrim meetup. I feel like the Quaker Oats man should be somewhere in the background. Um, and of course, that very curious expression she has on her face, which is probably out of frustration because, well, only maybe 3 out of 10 people can understand what she's saying at any given time. So she tends to get a little flustered. Yeah, there you go, you guys. Look at what did not land on Plymouth Rock. Oh, man. And if you just joined us, I should remind you that Prince William was supposed to be there tonight, but they are saying that Prince William is a bit cross with his father for distracting the world from his earth shot by pinning a medal to David Beckham. Yeah, stop the presses. David Beckham has finally got his knighthood. But I should remind people that Charles is a Scorpio. His birthday is this month. And so I don't know the exact day of his birthday, but if it was his birthday, that's when he chose to do it. Are they? I haven't had a chance to look at their comments yet. Also, to catch you up, guys, Camilla has insulted Kate Middleton. Well, the way we found out about this, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, Robert Jobson wrote a book, and in the book, it says that Camilla thought that, well, first of all, Camilla was very happy that Kate Middleton's illness is over and whatever her pre-operative, pre whatever it was, pre-canker sores, whatever she had, whatever the thing was that caused her to take 172 days off from work, that thing, whatever that was, Camilla is very pleased that Kate is going to be okay. But Camilla could not help but point out that Kate's video reminds her of the what is it, Timotei, the Timotei hair care products. And you can see why she had that opinion. Now, I said that Kate Middleton looks as fresh as a summer's eve, but Camilla, the queen consort, is of the opinion that Kate looks like she's in a hair care commercial with that ridiculous look on her face. Yeah. I mean, look at there. Walking through the tall grass, check. Strolling, looking off to nothing, check. Throwing your hair left and right, check. Taking a whole camera crew into some rural area that you wouldn't normally visit, check. Even the guy who filmed this farce is famous for making commercials. So Camilla laughed and thought it was funny. And so apparently, Kate Middleton is very upset now. Okay, I think I left off here. So the Daily Mail is publishing a book about it. And apparently, friends of William Parker Bowles are talking about how Diana's panorama interview ruined everything. And he blames the BBC and Diana. It details how he didn't want to see her, as I said, and how Diana, after that, changed. Okay. Now, William's beef with Panorama, it just seems to me, and God forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, it seems to me that William was angry at his mother for trying to fight that institution that conspired to get this teenager married to the Prince of Wales. They began to conspire when I believe Diana was 15 or 16 years old to make sure that by the time she was 19 years old, an adult, that she could marry the Prince of Wales, who was in his mid to late 30s. Okay, so Diana thought she was in love. And even worse, she thought that Charles was in love with her, which Charles, in all likelihood, never was. Charles was just there to fulfill his obligation as the Prince of Wales. And I could imagine that when Diana realized that they did not want me, they just wanted those children with a very high concentration of aristocratic genes, which is what she gave them, as the Spencer family goes back some, 700 years in British history. Diana is more English than pretty much anybody else in that family, as far as I know. Diana was more English than the Queen, way more English than Charles. I don't think there's any living memory or written memory of the last time there was a Spencer that was not in England. So let's fast forward to Panorama. William felt embarrassed by his mother's interview. He was angry at his mother. That's the way I understood it. He was angry at his mother. So, Derangers, there you have it. William Parker Bowles admitting through his mouthpiece he wasn't close to Diana after the Panorama interview, stopped hugging and kissing, and preferred to spend his time with others when out of school. So I was right 100%. Here he is with his mom, Cams. Okay. He is very chummy with Camilla. And I know a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen to Camilla when Charles is gone. I don't suspect she's going to have a difficult time. However, now that Camilla has made Kate Middleton the butt of the joke, now that Camilla has humiliated Kate Middleton in front of a full court press at the state visit, things may have changed. Things may have changed. But if you ask me to wager who's going to come out on top, the Queen Consort, the Dowager Queen Consort, or the King, William V, I'm going to put my money on that old broad right there. That old broad has survived a lot, and there's no reason to think that she's slowing up at all. And there's not too many people that have a lot of respect for William. No matter what people are trying to say, there's not much respect out there for William. William is a loose cannon. There are a lot of people that wince at the idea of him becoming king. And who knows? This whole evening may have been orchestrated to convince William to stay home and to have George come out, which is kind of scary for William for obvious reasons. I will not elaborate on that any further. But if I was William, I'd be mighty concerned that there are people that do not see me as a viable future king. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, it's that family. You know what I mean? That family is capable of a lot of things, which is why I always say you have to keep an eye on them. They are not to be trusted. Even Snoop Dogg is at the party. Is that Snoop Dogg with a case of beer? No, that's Snoop Dogg has a purse. Yeah, he has a purse. Does he? Yeah, he's got a purse. Well, he has a handbag. Let me just clarify that. He has a handbag of some sort. Maybe that's some CDs. He's going to DJ the party. That's what that is. Okay, I'm looking through again. I do not see any new photos. If some come up, I will share them with you. But so far, everybody seems to have the same 2 or 3 photos. Wow. You know what, guys? Charles upstaged. Okay, can we do this in chronological order? All right. William went to Brazil. Harry upstaged William. All right. And then Meghan upstaged William by returning to acting. And of course, Charles upstaged William with David Beckham. And now, what is supposed to be a memorable night for Charles, Godzilla, Kate, and George, they have just been upstaged by the Sussexes, who went to a 70th birthday party for Kris Jenner. So, busy weekend for the Royals. And the tabloids are likely to make a lot of money. Hopefully, they'll say something nice for a change, but they are likely to make a lot of money. Because they got plenty stuff to write about, like how stunning the Duchess of Sussex looks. Out of all those famous people there, who do they focus the article? Why, it's the Duchess of Sussex. Oh, you know what? You're absolutely right about that. I was careless. I was on the road, but you're right about that. She did have some of that Yankee blood. It's just that Charles was born to a couple of what are they Hanoverians? The Gother, the Gothic. What are they? Gothic, Irvine, California. What is their names? Gouda, goat cheese. What's the real last name? Um, Peach cobbler, goat cheese, something. There we go. Sax Coburg Gotha. Gothe. Gotha. Yeah, Sax Coburg. That's it. That's the name. So there's no Peter, Paul, and Mary in there, huh? Okay. I thought it was saxophone, Peter, Paul, and Mary, goat cheese, something. Yes, I thought their last name was saxophone, goat cheese, um, goatee. Saxophone, goat cheese, goatee. I was close though. I was close. You have to admit I was close. Oh yeah, so why didn't anyone tell me the internet is now calling Prince William Dim Bill? Dim Bill. Um, well, that's new to me too. But apparently there are some people on the internet that are referring to William as Dim Bill. Um, okay, it's kind of weird, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Is William wearing skinny jeans? Huh? Is he wearing skinny jeans? Is he trying to accentuate his buttocks? That's what it looks like. Who is he trying to impress? Oh well. Royalist has learned that that's Tom Sykes, by the way. The Royalist has learned that Prince William was left hurt and angry after his father, of all people, stole the spotlight from him last week, staging a headline grabbing investiture for David Beckham as Williams' Earthshot Award was kicking off in Brazil. Now, Zandy Sussex says William is throwing a tantrum. Yes, another one, because the king has been doing his job instead of hiding away to avoid overshadowing him. Toddler Willie's delusions of grandeur are now so out of control that he expects his PR stunts to take priority over matters of state. So, let me see. It was meant to be William's week. Then Charles pinned a medal on Beckham and lit up the cameras back home. Right? Let me see if I can share some more of that with you. The family sabotaged it from the beginning to end. The William friend said it was pathetic, like the worst of the bad old days. On the day his plane landed, Harry's team announced a parallel quasi royal tour of Canada scheduled, miraculously to overlap with William's itinerary. Meghan's PR team then leaked news of her returning to acting to the Sun midweek, instantly derailing British coverage of the Earthshot Prize. Oh man, that's too bad. In any normal world, said one newspaper executive, William would have been the royal story of the week. But Beckham and Meghan's comeback swallowed the headlines. The entire British royal press corps was in Brazil, and somehow none of it mattered. Let me say that again. The entire British royal press corps was in Brazil, and somehow none of it mattered. The irritant of the Sussexes is old and familiar. What stung William much more, I am told, was the betrayal from inside the tent. The betrayals are coming from inside the house. Well, hot damn, ain't that what they were doing to the Sussexes all this time? Duh. David Beckham had waited 15 years since the former courtier, said a former courtier, and they had to do it this week. When you think of how gracious William has been, paying tribute to his father's work in his speech, is a slap in the face. I'm afraid Charles still can't bear not to be the center of attention. If he couldn't be at COP30 himself, then nobody else was allowed to have the moment. The king's allies insist it was a coincidence without malice. His Majesty is immensely proud of his son's work. A friend of Charles told the Daily Beast investitures are scheduled months in advance, just like Harry's trip to Canada. It was scheduled a year in advance. One friend of the king's, however, did concede that there is an increasingly delicate, are you guys listening? There is an increasingly delicate father-son dynamic, dramatically worsened by William's open contempt for the shambolic way his father handled the ex-Prince Andrew crisis and continues to handle the Harry issue. Since the king's terminal cancer diagnosis, the balance of royal power has shifted. William is now increasingly demanding the right to lead long-term planning, public messaging, and crucially, crisis management. As a friend put it, the change of reign is happening in real time, whether they admit it or not. Let me tell you something. Charles is not losing his mind. Now, whether he's losing the battle with the illness is one thing, but he's not lost his mind. He will be king until his last breath. William has not been given the type of authority that Tom Sykes pretends he has. Now, someone is telling Tom Sykes that William is in charge, and I'm pretty sure that someone is in Kensington Palace, and that someone has been encouraged by William to say this over and over again until his father accepts that he is no longer completely in charge. I think that Charles has rejected this notion. William has not. Sharon Skinner, Tom Sykes is the only person who is calling it terminal. I repeat, Tom Sykes is the only one who's calling Charles' cancer terminal. And where does that come from? I'm sure it comes from Kensington Palace. It comes from some upstart, some, usurper that believes that they have the divine right of kings, even though they certainly are not king yet. Thank you, Hazel Jones. Birthday honors are given in the birth month. Wee Willie Winky tried to upstage his daddy and got slapped down 3 times. Thank you, Hazel Jones. And that's why I said, isn't Charles' birthday in November? Now, I don't know what day it is, but I do know that Charles would do these honors in his birth month. And the fact that I said that lets you know that this is common knowledge. I mean, I just, made official, of course, by Hazel Jones, but it's common knowledge. So Tom Sykes seems to be misleading people into believing that this was some type of provocation from Charles, when in all likelihood, this was something that was already scheduled. And William and his people are trying to spin it as though he's being attacked, that he's being mistreated. And so for that reason, William decided not to show up at the whatever that thing was tonight. Now that just validates exactly what I said. It's Charles' birthday this month. And he has a right to do that. Thank you, Hazel Jones. Oh, okay. Yeah, I told you this guy is talking out both sides of his mouth. Since the king's, let me see, what did I leave off? Charles, however, has no intention of fading into the background. He insists on maintaining full public schedule, sometimes to the alarm of Camilla and his doctors. And he guards the symbols of kingship, audiences, and investitures. The odd glittering photo call has as ever, fiercely as ever, friends say that having waited his whole life for this role, he's not about to start taking instructions from anyone, even his son. Hello. Hello. The defiance has spilled into more consequential matters, none more telling than the fate of Prince Andrew. For years, Charles has dithered over how to deal with his disgraced brother, refusing to strip him of his HRH or push him out of Royal Lodge. It was William who, oh God. Now, see, I don't even feel like doing this right now. Tom Sykes has been building this case that William is the one who finally pushed Andrew out of the nest. I'm skipping ahead. That tension between the father who can't relinquish power and the son who has already seized it now defines their relationship. Now, he's saying that William has seized power. Has he? Has William seized power? Or is this Tom Sykes wishful thinking? Because it doesn't seem to me that William has any control over what his father's schedule looks like. Charles is doing what the hell Charles wants to do. And that's all to it. Tom Sykes is misleading people, I'm afraid. I just don't buy it. I do not buy it. Tom Sykes is misleading people. And that's disgraceful. It seems as though he's trying to dig a hole for the king for whatever arrangements, allegedly, possibly, that he has with Kensington Palace. Snaggletooth sees his future inside the tent, and then currently where he is outside, he has chosen his side, while No Neck Jobson, time will slowly come to an end. Got it. I think that's accurate. I really do think that's accurate. It seems as though Tom Sykes has chosen to hedge his bets on Kensington Palace. I do not see Charles exposing his soft belly to a predatory takeover. I just don't see it. Yes, Miss Z, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Tom Sykes also wants people to believe that kitty litter somehow is responsible for the stripping of the titles and also getting yeah, they've been saying that she's the one. She it was the final straw that she didn't want to have any oh, and also they're trying to make this case that Andrew somehow insulted kitty litter. I don't buy it. That tension between father and son who can't relinquish power and the son who has already seized it now defines their relationship. He needs to stop saying he seized power. The Beckham affair, trivial on its face, is the perfect metaphor. The king, ill but determined, still demands to be headline act. The heir, already governing in many people's minds, no, in one person's mind, Tom Sykes, is trying to build something lasting in the space his father won't vacate. The king sometimes feels he's being airbrushed out of his own legacy. One family friend said it's not deliberate on William's part, but there's a cold professionalism about him. Well, he's cold, that's for sure. The message is the future starts now. That is Charles, finds that almost unbearable. I'm listening to the language here. I'm looking at the words that he's using. If Charles is of sound mind, it would be no different than if William, let's say William was nowhere in the picture, and the next king would be George, right? Do you think that Charles would allow a regent, someone who's likely to be George's regent, let's say Kate Middleton? Do you think Charles would relinquish power to the next regent while George waits until he's what, 18 or 19 years old? Or would Charles continue to conduct business as he waited 70 years for the privilege to do? There's no reason for Charles to step down unless there is some horrendous medical report that says that Charles is unable to govern. Then William is just going to have to suck it up, Buttercup. There's no reason for Charles to step down. Franklin Roosevelt governed until the day he died of a cerebral hemorrhage. And Harry Truman was sworn in as president. Now, there are some people who say that because of his illness, Franklin Roosevelt gave away too much to Stalin, right? That's what people say. I don't know. Whatever happened, it happened. But Franklin Roosevelt was president until he died, okay? John F. Kennedy met with Nikita Khrushchev while suffering from horrendous, debilitating back pain. And they said that when he met with Khrushchev, this young president was taken to the cleaners because of the horrendous pain that he was in. So much so that when he flew back to the United States, he was carried into the White House on a gurney because John F. Kennedy had actually had spinal fusion surgery and nearly died from an infection. But he was president until he wasn't. So this idea that Charles should give up control of the monarchy because William is impatient and William has plans and goals, I just don't think that's the way it's done. They wanted Queen Elizabeth to step down and she wouldn't do it. Okay. How about I trade you that for the Brooklyn Bridge? Huh? How about I trade you that land for the Brooklyn Bridge? Or how about the Chicago Skyway? Everybody hates that anyway. I will trade you that for the Chicago Skyway. Uh-oh. What is this about a winter storm for 8 states? When is that gonna hit? Winter storm warning in effect from 9 p.m. this evening to noon on Monday. Oh my God, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this. Well, that's the end of the plants I have outside. Mm-mm-mm. Oh well, it was nice while it lasted, but I guess all of my plants are going to perish overnight. That makes me kind of sad. I had a really nice garden this year. Mm. Oh, okay. I see the bridge. Oh, I love it.
There have been a lot of stories over the weekend about Prince Andrew, Mr. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. This one.
Oh, thank you for that. Okay. William has no plans or vision. He just wants to take focus from his brother and he needs to go sat down somewhere. Listen, I can take a hint. I can take a hint. Coming up. Coming up.
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Yes, from all of us to William the Fifth. Sit down. Sit down. Stars, they come and go. Oh man. The king sometimes feels he's being airbrushed out of his own legacy. Okay, did that. The Amazon, one of the scripted remarks William delivered was about duty each generation owes the next. It seems William doesn't think his father has got the message. Wow. You like that? William kind of slipped that in there to his father. The Amazon is a duty that each generation owes to the next. So, in other words, Charles owes William something. Oh, well, anyway, that's the end of that make believe fairy tale from Tom Sykes, something that bears no place in reality. Let's see. Stevie Rose says, I would have thought the Earth shot was a great idea if he stopped using his private transportation. Yeah, there's no reason that he just has to do that. It's a convenience that he chooses, which shows exactly how out of touch he is with the rest of society. William wants to pretend like he's a middle class father who's just doing the best he can with his kids, putting his family first, when the truth is, William does whatever William wants to do. William should put duty first. Um, there are countless people who has to make tough decisions every day so that they can support their family. I'm going to share a story with you. I've never forgot this story. A coworker of mine, um, she was a single mom, and she told me that as she was trying to be independent and also raise her daughter at the same time, she had started a new job and had a very rough first day, not at work, at the babysitters. Now, mind you, this was back in the 70s, and we felt differently about things. So I do hope you all don't judge her. But she told me that no sooner than she dropped her daughter off at the babysitter, she heard the babysitter yelling at her daughter while she was walking to the bus stop. And in that split decision of hers, do I go back and get my daughter, or do I go to this job that I really need for our future? And she went to work, crying the whole time to the bus stop. And eventually on the bus, she wept. Now, I don't know how close she was to this lady, but a lot of mothers have made decisions like that time and time again. And maybe it's not just a babysitter, maybe it's their own mother or their sister or their close friend that they overhear something as awful as that, but they feel like they cannot miss that day of work. That is a very, very tough position to be in. And I'm not going to judge her for it. But that is what's happening with real people. That is what's happening to the common person who do not have a lot of options in life. And I think I've heard that story maybe 30 years ago. And to this day, I reference that story from time to time when I consider that some parents have to make tough decisions, like leave your child at a border. Maybe they'll have a better life over there than they have over here. That's what's happening with real people. And I do not consider William real people. He is a person, he's a human being, but he does not have to suffer the things that other people do. And that goes for his wife too. They're always going to be at the head of the queue. They are always going to have the best of whatever is available. Let that sink in. And have you noticed that Harry was the one accused of being the whinger? Meghan was accused of always whining and complaining. And the truth is, it's Will and Kate that whinge and whine and bitch and complain constantly. And the press has conspired to make excuses for them. They have excuses. They have more excuses than there are days in the month. They constantly make excuses for the Waleses. And anybody else, what they feel, what they think, and what they experience does not matter. Um, you know, what I usually do is I just go buy another tree next year. I don't have enough inside to make sense out of it. I can't. I can't. There is one that I'm going to save. As a matter of fact, um, it's one of those. I think it's an African violet. That one I'm going to save, but I'm going to actually break a couple of vines off, and I'm going to put them in some water and start them over again. And then by this time next year, or should I say, by this time in the spring, I can plant them and watch them, take over again. So that's about the only thing that I need to save is that and the tree. And I don't care about the tree. I'll just get another one. It's unfortunate, but I don't want to deal with the tree. Where I would put the tree is where I've inherited my sister's bamboo plant, and the bamboo plant is getting bigger by the day. So I I just don't have room for both. But it would be sweet if I could. It really would. But I couldn't make sense out of it. But thank you for asking. Let's see. Stevie Rose says that is their bread and butter because they don't have the skills to do anything else, which is actually sad. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that there's two people less qualified for the future of the monarchy than Will and Kate. Whatever I think about Camilla Godzilla, she knows how to talk to people. She can capture the attention without throwing her hair left and right. And Charles, who has had 70 years to prepare, although I think Charles, if he had become king 40 years ago, I think aside from his messed up marriage and everything, he probably would have done a decent job. And I'm just taking my personal feelings away from those two, although I think that they are rotten people. Um, there's nobody less qualified than William and Kate. Nobody in that family is less qualified. What? What? Oh, yes, yes, yes. We saw pictures already. But if you know if there's anything more than this, please let us know. Please let us know. But yeah, we have been monitoring the situation and are well aware of the Sussex's whereabouts. But since you said that, I'm going to go, oh no, that's not it. I was about to say, oh, there's a new picture. Let me see. Okay, let me go ahead and keep this moving. Oh no. Oh no, you guys. I feel kind of sorry for Kitty. I wish you could look at Kitty. Kitty looks pitiful, you guys. She really does. She looks pitiful. I think that there is some bad blood. Um, yeah, I think there's some bad blood between Kate and Camilla, and I believe the strain is starting to show. Oh, by the way, you guys, there is a news update about the locker room situation. Let me show you this picture of Kate, and then I'm going to tell you about the locker room update. You may have seen this week where a woman was at a Gold's Gym and she got into a shouting match with someone she says was not the right person in the women's locker room. Okay. I'm trying to put it mildly because I don't want to offend anybody. But she was saying that he was not supposed to use that locker room. He says he was, right? And to mind your business. Now, he made people believe, okay, let me get that pronoun right. She made people believe that the woman who confronted them was out of line for doing so. But if the report I've seen is correct, this person that was in the locker room, um, this person that was in the locker room, I'm trying to put this in the right way. This person has a police record of assault, right? And it was after this person went to jail, according to this report. After they went to jail, that's when they came out of jail, when they were released from prison or whatever. That is when they decided it's time to transition. Okay. So I'm not judging the situation. I'm just telling you what the update is that this person has a very interesting criminal history. That's it. I'm not going to judge or anything like that. I'm just telling you the update that I saw is that this person has a criminal history that are making some people rather wary. And they feel like the person who complained, the lady that complained, um, was treated unfairly. That they were too quick to dismiss her concerns um, when they said that this person, even if this person was supposed to be there, she was sharing a locker room with someone who probably has twice the upper body strength and a criminal history. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Hey, Church Nelly. Okay, so what was I supposed to do? Oh, here it is. I said I wanted you all to see this picture. Um, Poor Kate does not look well. Where is she? Oh, there she is. This is tonight, and this is after she and Charles and George, Camilla, Sophie. I don't know if Edward was there, but anyway, William did not show up for the event tonight. Something to do with Remembrance Day. William didn't show up. So Kate took George instead. George was not supposed to be there, but George came in his father's place. His father is a no-show, probably angry because Charles upstaged William's Earthshot by knighting, or what is it, knighting Sir David Beckham in the presence of Lady Beckham. Yeah, so William is said to be upset about that. Yep, William is said to be upset about that. And it looks like Kate had a rough night. Anyway, she doesn't look very happy. Her night was very stoic. She is dressed as a pilgrim. I believe that she got her dates mixed up. She thought she was going to a Halloween party instead of the Remembrance Gala or whatever this is. And she wore her pilgrim costume instead of proper evening attire. So oh, let me see. A sad pilgrim meets an ever sadder holly hobby. Oh man, I love it. So yeah, William is angry because he said that his father upstaged him. Now, here you guys remember Henry VIII, right? Oh, Henry VIII says, I think it turned into a cycle where the press and palace are desperate to reassure everyone, including themselves, that William isn't a consistent failure. There always has to be an external excuse. Okay. Zandy says this messaging of him always in a rage and blaming everyone is not doing him any favors. It seems nobody around him is brave enough to tell him to sit down and shut the Frappuccino up. Let's see. And Ed says, how dare the king hold an event while William is in Brazil? And that is followed by SK, who says, I knew he would be pissed off with the Beckham thing. The article is correct in some parts. William had a full pack of Royal Rhoda, but the minute Harry announced his trip to Canada and Meghan's news that came over, that was game over. I'm sorry, that was game over. I bet that drove him to the wall to no end. Probably that's why he refused to attend tonight's show. Y'all, William is mad, big mad. William is big mad. Imagine going all that way to make a global fool of yourself. This is super cringe. Prince William preparing his speech whilst traveling to COP30 in Belém, Brazil on a private jet. Yes, he's on a private jet. Let's see. And this Jim stepping off a private jet to arrive at COP30. That's William. And it was reported that they stripped, I don't know, was it thousands of trees? I forget how many trees, but they said a lot of trees were stripped away for this event. Now, so far, I haven't seen anything to counter this. They said that for the sake of the COP30, a lot of trees were felled in the rainforest so that this event would be possible. It seems very counterintuitive. It's like they're going in the wrong direction. How many trees are you going to knock down for this gross photo op? And I'm not blaming William alone. That is for anyone who attends this event. For the sake of everyone there, they tore up huge areas of the rainforest. That's progress, I guess. Oh, I got a sound bite for you guys. I almost forgot about this. Let me do this one. Oh, Lord, this is going to be a 3-hour Royal Sussex. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Climate change conference. He should have swum back. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Climate change conference. He should have swum back. You know what I mean? He should have ridden a donkey back. Yeah. Pedaled a unicycle.
Oh, sorry about this. This has not happened for a while. Let me try to fix it.
Climate change conference. He should have swum back. You know what I mean? He should have ridden a donkey back. Yeah. Pedaled a unicycle back. It's ridiculous. He flies to Rio to lecture us about climate change. You know what I mean? Guy lives in a palace. It's like you worry about climate change and carbon footprint so much, move into a one-bed flat. And like solar panels. Yeah, live my lifestyle for a change. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. That meeting and the climate change meeting could have been done over Zoom. Yeah. Instead, they all fly in on their private jets. It's ridiculous. But yeah, he should have been back here for this. This is much more important. Suzanne, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with Leo on the hypocrisy of these absolute. Oh, I just haven't got a word for them. You know, felling forests to get a road there, private jets. Goodness knows how much they're eating, drinking, squandering out there. It's a complete disgrace. I'm not too bothered, frankly, that he's not back for this, but I am bothered that our future king is totally hook, line and sinker drawn into this climate nonsense. And we've just had stories today about the NHS having spent 1.4 billion on net zero initiatives and hasn't altered its carbon footprint
They've gone up.
At all.
The carbon footprints have gone up on the NHS. That's the bonkers thing.
Even worse than I thought. Net zero is a con. This climate catastrophe is a con. And I think it's a great shame that our future king has bought into it so thoroughly.
Paul, climate change conference. He should have swum back.
Okay, so as I said, the real meat and potato issues that most people in the UK are facing, much like people in the United States, in Canada, and all over the Western industrialized world, people are facing some really tough times and having to make some hard choices. And William decides to take a private jet and fly down to Brazil to lecture people about the environment in which he is one of the bigger polluters in all of the United Kingdom. When it comes to someone's domestic living situation and the choices they make for travel, he's got to rank up there with his father and several other people to the likes of which money is of no consideration, is of no consequence. And yet he goes to the COP30. Where's Liz Truss to tell him
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Right? Isn't that what Liz Truss told Charles when Charles was trying to go to the COP? She told him he couldn't go. Well, Keir Starmer should have done the same thing with William. As soon as William started talking all this stuff about going to Brazil, he should have just told him,
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
yeah, that's what they should have done. William looks ridiculous. He looks absolutely ridiculous. Now, I normally would not tell you to go on their social media, but if for no other reason but a chance to see some of the comments, stinging comments that people are making about William. I mean, the kind of stuff that just burns. It burns like a ring of fire. It burns, burns, burns like a ring of fire. Well, yeah, it burns. They are dragging him to filth. They are dragging him every which direction. This is 2025, the same year that William spent, what was it, a week on a $500 million yacht? William, who back in 2019 tried to compete with his brother by having an empty plane flown to pick him up with his family and take them God knows where. I mean, the ruse was so tight. They were so determined to hoodwink the public. Everybody's carrying their own bags, like they're just a middle class family who is being trailed by a couple of nannies that do this stuff all the time. They walk out onto the tarmac and walk up a flight of stairs to get into a commercial jet, which is the same thing I did the last time I've flown. I'm being sarcastic. I think that only happened to me once in my life. But my point is, they're pretending to be middle class when the truth is, William makes about what, 25 million, like what, 23 million pounds a year from his duchy. That is cash for his pocket. A man who otherwise does not have many expenses that is not covered by the sovereign grant, which one day he is going to be the Duke of Lancaster and inherit a whole nother duchy. And if his son is not old enough to manage the Duchy of Cornwall, I suppose that William will be calling the shots, not for just one money-making piggy bank ATM duchy, but two, until his son is old enough. That is, in the event that his father passes away. So, yeah, William, who can barely do the job of one Prince of Wales, will suddenly have responsibility for a kingdom that he is ill prepared for, and a son who will be the next Prince of Wales. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be making a lot of decisions where his son is concerned. Whereas the son, if he was older, would make his own decisions. Yeah, and if he wanted to take some time with his friend, his euphemistic friend, he could have just said so. Oh man. Well, here's one for you. Stop taking climate advice from people who fly in private jets. But that's just me. Okay? Stop taking climate advice from people that fly around in private jets. The real irony is this, and so far, I haven't had anyone prove me wrong. I do not know of any situation where Harry has gone on the record preaching about the environment. Now, I'm sure Harry is conscious of the environment because, after all, he's the one who founded Travelers, right? So I'm sure Harry has awareness of the environment, and I'm sure that he practices the best way he can whenever he can. However, Harry only has one home, right? Harry was accused of being in a gas guzzling limousine one day when it happened to be a hybrid SUV. And they're always saying, oh, Harry preaches one thing and does something else. I have not heard Harry, I have not seen anywhere where Harry lectured anyone about the environment. Now, yes, Travelist is about sustainability and making choices to benefit everyone. But I have yet to find any situation where Harry has lectured someone, where Harry has flown in a private jet to go to a climate conference and told everyone there, don't do this, do that, and then fly back home in a private jet. I have not seen that happen yet. The Sussexes have traveled commercial as often as possible. Now, have they hitched a ride with someone who was going that direction? Like when they went to Jamaica? Yeah, they did. They hitched a ride with someone who is the chairman or the whatever CEO of a movie theater, or not movie theater, movie production company, studio, such and such. Yeah, he's done that. He's hopped on plenty jets under those circumstances. But has he, on multiple occasions, chartered a private jet? Not too often. Certainly not as often as his father and his brother. But yet, they're always, the tabloid that is, they're always trying to drag him for it when he's not the one that is making a name for himself lecturing people about the environment. And even worse, they drag Meghan into it. They accuse Meghan. When they say they mean Harry and Meghan. They accused them of being hypocrites. I promise you, I've never heard Meghan say anything about what people should do and should not do as far as the environment is concerned. I don't recall. I don't know where I've ever seen that. I do not believe it exists. But yet they lump her in there and have derangers saying terrible things about her for things that she never said. She simply has not gone on the record about that ever. If you can find it, inbox me, but I have not seen it yet. Yeah, given the circumstances, I want the Sussexes to do whatever is safe. So there's Greta Williamberg. Yeah, there's Greta Brittenberg. Maybe people would think he more credible if he would change his first name to Greta. By the way, one of the squaddies posted this. I did not do this, but I do love it. I know, kind of catch you off guard, doesn't it? And I wish I could share this video with you, but I don't have it. It's like a 4-second video. It's that photo of William and Jason walking side by side, but I hear they're doing some kind of little dance or something. I thought it was kind of funny, but I cannot share that video with you. Okay, we got 2 slides left, you guys. Just 2 slides left. Okay, 3. We got 3 left. This one. Can you find the mistake? Can you find the mistake? Anybody? Can you find the mistake? I'm going to try to do these as often as I can. Please let me know, can you find the mistake? And by the way, I don't know for certain what it is, so I'm just going to follow you all for this one because don't get me started. I don't know. But can you find the mistake? Anyone? Someone? Can you find the mistake? Not at 4 a.m. Oh, I understand. Not at 4 a.m. Well, take a screenshot. Sunday should be first. Okay, I've heard that one. No question mark after mistake. That's another one. Yeah, I looked at the comments where I took this off of the Twitter. So, yeah, hell, I don't know. Let me see. Sunday starts the 1st. Oh, yeah, you know what? That does make sense because they do have them numbered. Okay, got it. I got that. They do have them numbered, so Sunday should be first. Okay, let me go to the next one. The universe is telling you to... I didn't really understand this one. The universe is telling you to... Now, I cropped it so it would be closer. I haven't actually looked at this one yet either. The universe is telling you to... Oh, I see something already. Okay, I see something already. The universe is telling me to... You see slow down? Do you? Or are you just saying that? Okay. Well, listen, I've been talking for almost 3 hours and I'm able to concentrate. Okay, the universe is telling you to elevate. Sad? You see sad? Okay. The universe is telling me to focus. If you look at the second line, I see focus. The universe is telling me to focus. Also, the universe is telling me to flow. Oh, I do see sad. Okay, I see P, P-E-A. The universe is telling me P. Oh. Oh, the universe is telling me to shine. Oh, I see it too, Sandra. I see the shine too. Create? You see create? Um Manifest. I see manifest. Oh, Sandra, we seem to be at the same time here. Transform. The universe is telling me to transform. No, I want to keep everything I got. No, thank you. I see a leave. Oh, the universe is telling me to take a painkiller. I see a leave. Surrender? I don't see surrender. Expand. The universe is, well, listen, you tell the universe that I know all about expanding. As a matter of fact, I was eating some Pringles earlier, and trust me, there's enough crumbs on this desk that will give all the evidence that I know how to expand. I think I got that expansion covered. Okay, I still don't see slow down. How y'all see slow down? I don't see it. Do I see a line? The universe is telling me to align. ALIGN. Did anybody else get a line? Did I spell that right? I see manifest, brace. I see brace. Anybody else got brace? Oh, I see the slowdown. I see the slowdown. Okay. Love. I see love. Y'all got love? I see love. The universe is telling me to love. LOVE, love. Accept. Listen. Accept and listen. Okay, you got listen. Oh, you got accept and listen. Okay, very good. Create. Oh, now I see create. Grow. The universe wants me to grow. Surrender. I see surrender now. Mm. And I'm not even trying to do the up and down. I'm just, and certainly not diagonal. Are we supposed to do diagonal? I don't know. I don't think I got it in me to do diagonal, not at this hour. Oh, I thought I saw smell, but there's only one L. I was about to say the universe wants me to smell. I see the breathe, breathe. I see breathe. The universe wants me to breathe. I see breathe. You guys see breathe? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down on the right side. Breathe. Oh, the universe wants me to fest. Oh, it's manifest. Never mind. Look at that. I thought I saw something. Let me see. Surrender. Rise. Oh, the universe wants me to rise. I see seed, SEED. The universe wants me to seed. Okay, that sounds weird. Accept. Acceptance. Oh, yeah, that's acceptance. Receive. I see receive. Okay. All right, I'm starting to repeat myself. Rest. I don't see rest. Okay. I see NELLY. The universe wants me to drink. You see it? NELLY. The universe wants me to drink. Uh, okay, the universe wants you to heal. All right. Yeah, they spell drink funny, but I think I understand. Oh, the universe wants me to won. WON, won. Yeah, okay. I think I'm just being silly. Oh, the universe wants me to jail. I guess the universe is saying my edges need to lay down because the universe wants me to jail. Reflex? I don't see reflex. Reflex. Oh, I see it. I see reflex. I mean, reflect. Reflect. Okay, you guys, that will be it for tonight. Thank you very much. I will try to find some more puzzles for us to solve next time. And thank you again, moderators. Thank you all for staying up so late. I've been fooling with this thing all day, and I guess watching videos at the same time. And then at a certain point, I just dozed off and fell asleep right here at the computer. But finally, I finished, and we're here, and I had fun. I really did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, outstanding work, everyone. Oh, what the hell is this? I forgot I had this. Should we do this tomorrow? Yeah, let's save it for tomorrow. Oh, what the hell? Since we're all here. I had let me see. Name how many things, count how many of these things. Is that right? Oh yeah, add up how many things that you've done. Like if you had sex, that's 10 points. If you smoked, that's 6 points. Yeah, we'll do this one tomorrow. The hell with it. We'll do that tomorrow. Okay, good night, y'all.